And we are live. Welcome to another Super Galactic Saturday. I'm Jerry Sr. with Jerry Jr.
Good morning.
And it's another beautiful Saturday morning. It's a little overcast, it's kind of cloudy, a little bit chilly, but still a beautiful day because any day above ground is a good day. And today is definitely a good day. So happy to be here. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your time and your attention. And we got a few things we're going to talk about, some interesting things in particular. In regards to that Pragmata video game. But that was kind of an interesting thing you shared with me. So
Yeah, so I just want to. I shared it obviously because I think it's worth sharing. But I also wanted to give a shout out to before I forget um, to this indie animation that's in the works. We got to get back into giving shout outs to indie stuff, but
yeah, for sure.
I mean we we do it we do our best, but yeah, he's actually a YouTuber that I don't follow consistently, but I've seen a few of his videos. He does a lot of uh, what do you call them? Video essays on animation and older shows and stuff like that. And now he's
Yeah,
making a cartoon of his own. So I'll play the first part of the trailer, and then you guys should definitely check out the rest. Let me know if you can see it, Dad. Can you see it?
yeah, I see it down. Took a few seconds.
Oh, this-
On up out of my way. I have something gotta do today. Got no time for all your games.
But I like the way you like to play. You sure you're having a moment to spend the night with someone who could spend some time with you one day.
If I give it a chance, will it wear the way? Is this what living is like? Every so damn day. If I give you a chance, you have to promise me it doesn't start and end it. There's something I see in you, and I can't wait to find it. No, I can't wait to find it, yo. There's a spark when it's just us two. I hope that you can see it. I hope we can believe in it too. Hey, 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 hey.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
It was quite nice.
He Alteric Harris, he pitched it as Insecure meets Bob's Burgers, which I'll be honest, I haven't seen either of those shows, but
Yeah, I've heard of Insecure.
but I get it. I mean,
Is
obviously
this going to be an adult animation? I guess. Is
well,
that
yeah, essentially, but it's gonna be more
okay?
like if you remember stuff like Martin and
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Big Single and stuff like that. Obviously, it's trying to be an animated version of that, which I think is pretty
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. If you said living single, uh, I'll go. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it
Because
takes a lot of
that was a great show. That really was. So if you're vibing off that, yeah, that could work. Especially for animation, you can have a lot of fun. So
absolutely.
yeah, that looked pretty cool. I mean, I know it's a rough, but it still had a nice feel to it.
Yeah,
Like you
I
said,
agree.
it's really on point. So
Yeah. Also, I missed it when uh, cartoons had theme songs, so it was nice to hear the actual theme song for once.
yeah, it sounds beautiful.
New Jack Swing. But yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
It's
it
called
does have a kind of a '90s vibe. Yeah,
yeah. That's definitely the goal there. But yeah, check it out when you get a chance. The full trailer, he breaks down everything he's working on, everything he's planning, and his Kickstarter goals and stuff like that. So check it out when you get a chance. It looks like a really cool project.
yeah.
But
I'm sharing the YouTube and the comments there. So
yeah,
yeah, I
but
like it.
also, but
and it's called Hey.
Yeah, it's just called Hey.
Yeah, very clever.
So it's pretty easy to remember, right?
I would say so. I would say
But
that's pretty.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure I gave that a shout out before I forgot. But
Yeah, I like that. I haven't seen or heard of it, so that's good to know. And
yeah.
it's Kickstarter live.
Well, yeah, I think it. Yeah, well, I think the trailer just launched today.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it here. I see it. Yeah, cool.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, let's support. That looks really cool.
absolutely. But in regards to Pragmata, um, it's funny. I haven't played the game yet, and I've
Yeah,
made
I
it.
haven't either, but I've heard so much about it already. And it's only been maybe a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, it's only been out for a couple of weeks, less than a month,
Yeah,
and
and it's
it's
definitely making waves, and I mean, which is good, for a game. So nothing inherently wrong with that, but yeah, it's kind of fascinating. I'm not sure, some of the controversy surrounding it. I think a lot of it is silly. Tim Pool's comments and everything. I don't know if did we mention that last time?
you mentioned it. I
Yeah.
don't really
So
care to hear what he had to say
yeah,
about the
I,
game.
I
Here's,
can't I
here's-
can't believe it. I can't believe these people. I can't take them seriously. So
well, that's the thing. It's like I think one thing that I think we have to remember is that people on the internet aren't real. And when
you
I
say it
say
again.
that, I said
People on
people
the
on the
internet are
internet
what?
aren't real. And I say that because it's true. They're not real people. Like, and when I say
They
that,
are real
I
people.
mean that in the sense that, like, it's the same way that we understand that, you know, uh, to use a crude example, Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show is not the same person as Bill Cosby in real life.
In real life. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair. That's fair.
and so it's like
I
when
would
these
agree with that. Yes.
when a lot of these people they make all these statements and stuff like that, and they try to sound smart in order to appease their specific audience. They don't. A lot of them don't actually believe what they're saying. It's all it's all
Yeah.
it's all a big it's all a big show. It's not everybody. It's
Yeah.
a lot of them, and you see this especially in the TikTok uh, world where you get a lot of uh, social media influencers. If you ever see those people on the streets, and they're like, "Oh, if you answer this question, I'll give you an iPhone," and they'll like pretend to give someone an iPhone, but in reality, they're just doing it for clicks and views. They're not actually giving the person an iPhone. It's stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of folks like that.
same thing of people's opinions. So take, really can't take these people seriously. You have to really judge for yourself.
Well, I hope this story is not one of those fake stories because
No, it's
it's
not.
quite
And
beautiful.
and I'll read it from the.
Yeah, go ahead.
This was a post on Reddit from a 55-year-old dad. And I brought this up because there's been a lot of discourse on the theme of Pragmata of being a surrogate father,
Right.
and for some reason, there's been a lot of controversy. Well, it's fake controversy, but a lot of people claim that the people who play this game are creeps. But here's this dad,
Yeah.
right? And my baby girl, Mackenzie Aaron, passed away at the age of 8 in January 2009. She's forever 8. This is her in the picture above. I'm 55. I'm a 55-year-old gamer. Thanks to my daughter, Ella, now 9, Ella talked me into playing Fortnite in February of 2024. It's been 30 years since I gamed in high school and college. From Fortnite, Hogwarts Legacy, to Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, and others. Gaming has helped me get through a lot in my life by just getting lost away from reality, even for just a little while. I've been seeing this game come across my feed since it was announced. I haven't seen the negative comments about it until now because I don't spend a lot of time reading things on social media. God bless them.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe 20 minutes a day to scroll and read my top news feed. I really don't give two sheets about what negative people think about it. When I watched some videos of Pragmata, Ella said, "Daddy, she reminds me of pictures of Mackenzie. I wonder if Diana is like Mackenzie." So I purchased the whole bundle and we started playing. Diana is very much like both my daughters. Maybe I got a little bit teary eyed. Maybe I absolutely love this game. And the time Ella spends with me, Pragmata is therapeutic for my soul. I mean, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean,
What do you say to this? What do you say to
just
this guy?
just just multiply that times 100 or even 1,000 people. I'm sure have
Yeah.
very similar experiences with the game, where in gaming in general, where it's allowed them to cope with some of the realities that they have to deal with, including deaths in the family. And I can't even imagine, losing your child, especially that young.
No.
I don't even want to think about it. That's horrific. So if this game helps him to cope with that and deal with it, and allows him to remember his daughter in a very positive light, obviously, I mean, more power to him. And that's the thing that's annoying about the criticisms, because they're clearly disingenuous. Like they are disingenuous. They're not legitimate criticisms to say that it's somehow inappropriate or creepy or something, or
Well,
it's so nonsensical. And to
well
say
yeah.
that men aren't nurturers, it's like, what are you talking about? Men are fathers. Men are husbands. Like, that's the most ridiculous, nonsensical statement. And it's like, and they get away with it because for them, whether it's good or bad, they get engagement, right?
Well, that's the thing. It's like they're disingenuous because either A, they're liars, or B, they live such a terrible life where they never actually experience what a father figure is supposed to be like. They never
I
had.
wouldn't even give them that benefit. I think even people who may not have grew up with their father still would understand this type of dynamic,
Right,
because
but a lot of people carry that
you
with them their whole lives and they never get over it.
sure, but even listen, let me tell you something, okay? It's a incredibly rare thing to find a human being that doesn't understand intuitively and emotionally the concept of fatherhood or motherhood or
Yeah.
family. So when people like Tim Pool, and I forgot the chick's name, whatever, but
Who
when
cares?
they start making declarative statements about how men aren't nurturers or men don't nurture, they are being objectively stupid, right? They're either choosing to be, willfully stupid, or they're choosing to lie, right? Either way, it's lying
Yeah.
to get engaged, to be counter what the narrative is, right? So that they can get people to react or overreact, or you know, and it benefits them because they get engagement, right? That's how they make money. That's how they butter their bread. I don't believe them, and the fact that they choose to stand on those words just shows just how dishonest they are, because we're talking about common sense here. We're not talking about some like incredibly outrageous dynamic, right? In the game, it's literally an adult man who protects a little girl, even though she's a robot, right?
Yeah.
He realizes that whatever her programming is, or the nature or dynamic of her existence, she is the equivalent of a little girl, right? And so seeing that, and I'm sure there's far more to the story beyond just it's a little girl. It might remind him of somebody, of a
Hmm.
past, or who knows, right? But in any case, anyone with comments, any decent human being, man or woman, if you're around a child, you're going to naturally want to protect the child, right? And the more extreme the situation is, the more you want to protect that child. That's just common sense. Period. Like there's no like, unless you're an incredibly selfish, self-centered person, right? Right, which I'm sure they're out there, right? But those are the exceptions,
Most
not the
people on the internet are, yeah.
yeah, those are the exceptions. They're not the rule, right? And that's what I'm saying. And so to make these statements as if there's something inappropriate or something weird about a man protecting a child, right? It's like you're purposely you're just being a liar, right? I mean, I'm just gonna say it. But B, you are trying to inject something into the zeitgeist that shouldn't be there. You're
Yeah.
trying to impress upon those who may be a bit more vulnerable, right? That they'll accept your words and say, "Oh, yeah, that might be true," right? And that's on you, because now you're manipulating other people into believing something that is objectively false, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating and annoying about this stuff. It's like, you know, like I remember when I was I think I was in high school, or I used to help my mom, babysit, right? And I used to babysit one of my nieces, you know, and every day I would leave, to go to school, right? And my niece would run to the door and tell me goodbye, all this stuff. And she would go, "Where are you going?" And I would say, "I'm going to the moon," right? And she believed me at first, right? Because she's a little kid, and I was just being a stupid teenager, right? But it's like kids believe those things, right? They believe what you tell them, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's irresponsible. Like it would be irresponsible for me to continue to tell her that and make her believe it, right? You understand? That
Right.
would be irresponsible, no matter how silly it is. It's like, eventually, I'll come home and tell her, "No, I didn't go to the moon. I went to school. We'll talk and all this kind of stuff, right?" So she realized, oh, okay, he was just mess with me, right? He was playing around. It's like I'm not gonna let her keep believing foolishness, right? And that's the whole point. Like, but people, like Tim Pool and his crew, whatever, latching on to this thing and commenting the way they did, it's like you're trying to promote foolish thinking, and you're doing it on purpose, knowing that it's foolish. And I believe they know it's foolish, but they don't care.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with that. It's like be responsible for the words you speak. Don't just throw nonsense out there. Knowing that it's nonsense. It's like these people don't believe what they're saying. But they don't care if you believe it, right? They'll tell you nonsense, and they won't care that you believe the nonsense, right? And
Yeah.
that's to me, that's I'll, I'll bite my tongue here, but yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's just it's really frustrating. And it's like scroll down and look at the comments first off. You have to click anything, you just scroll down.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people are
Or scroll
having
down a
a
little bit more.
normal response too. So
Yeah.
like it's
It's
like,
just like
yeah, terrible day for rain. You know? I was like, yeah, I was feeling this one because I'm like, yeah, the Colonel, man.
yeah. How well,
But
how apropos.
see, and then you
It's a,
get some idiot like this. Imagine using your dead daughter to promote a
oh
video.
my gosh.
This is what I'm talking about, right? This is exactly like I
I
just
didn't
got
even
through
see
saying it,
that.
right? And here it is. This is the stupidity I'm talking about.
But it's like I
I'll
say,
say
it's
it to you
people.
last. It's like
It's
you
misery
really
loves
believe this
company.
guy is sharing on Reddit about his experience playing this game, that he's trying to promote a video game.
But that it's like
Like,
misery loves company. That's all it
yeah,
is.
yeah. It's like you have to be the most cynical person in the world to really believe that this guy is promoting this one guy who happened to have lost his daughter, right? Is saying, "Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to promote this video game, even though I'm not getting a check, I'm not getting paid. I'm versus I just want to share my experience with the gaming community of how positive this game is, right? Like that's wild, man. So, but yeah, that's I mean, there it is, right there. That's what I was talking about, right? Just kind of and this person, no way they believe that this is what's happening.
No, but they're just doing it's
They
just
just got
rage
to throw
bait. It's just
they got to throw a
engagement.
monkey wrench
One.
into the works, you know. Why engagement? Although they only got 10, they're
Yeah, but
getting
look at the
ratio.
comments.
So, yeah, they're getting ratio, which they rightfully should. So it's like, yeah, get out of here, man. It's but either way, it's engagement. That's the problem. It's like you're gonna react because you're gonna say this is stupid, and we should do that. But at the same time, be aware, like doing so still does them a favor. You know, I think ultimately the goal should be to ignore these people. You know, like just don't give them the time of day. So
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like
yeah,
people. That's the thing is people. This shouldn't be something that's like. Uh, this shouldn't be something that's outrageous or a big deal. This shouldn't be a big deal. But the problem is that people are so
no,
used to.
people become so cynical.
Well, it's not just cynical, but in media in general, people are so used to seeing, uh, you know, a lot of you know men in fictional stories and stuff get teared down and stuff like that. Like I was literally just looking at another post complaining about how Aang was portrayed in Legend of Korra, to where he was essentially a deadbeat dad to all but one of his kids
Mm-hmm.
just because they weren't airbenders. And it's like, yeah, that's out of character for Aang, but they
Yeah,
have to do things. They have to intentionally do things that are out of character in order to create,
or to
some sort of
create,
conflict. And it's the
yeah,
same thing they did
manufactured.
with, yeah, it's the same thing they did with Luke in Star Wars. It's the same thing they did with,
Yeah,
um, regrettably, I think a lot of people had the same complaints about Kratos in God of War 2. Although I
yeah,
don't think it was
remember that. Yeah,
as bad. I just think the story was really boring. But um, in comparison to the first game, but yeah,
right.
it's because people are so used to people trying to subvert manhood and things that are that we see as good about men. And so when they see,
About men and about family.
yeah, and it's really all it boils down to. And it's not like it's so weird because a lot of these same people, are complaining about uh, the the breakdown of society and stuff like that. And you see a lot of posts, you see a lot of news articles about, oh, men don't want to work anymore, men don't want to do this anymore, and it's like, well, I mean, why should we? It's like,
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. It's not true.
if
That's
it,
number one. Men do work. Men still do pretty much what we've been doing from day one. The problem is for those who were benefiting from it, right? They're the ones that are starting to be ignored, those are the ones that complain and say, "Oh, men aren't approaching women." Right? It's like, well, they're not approaching you. That's right. That's the part they don't want to talk
yeah.
about. They're not
Well,
approaching
it's,
you.
it's it's funny because it's well, I would say it's funny, but it's like it's not. This isn't anything new, right? Remember the show? I forgot the dinosaur sitcom with the not the mama, all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
but there was a clip. There's a really interesting clip, I'm starting to see more stuff like this in old shows.
Mhm.
This isn't anything new. This is stuff that they've been trying to do for like 50, 60 years at this point. Where it's
Yeah,
Yeah, the joke was he's watching. Yeah, the dad dinosaur is watching all these sitcoms. He's watching TV, and the shows are like coming up next. Dad is stupid, followed by really dumb dad, and then it's all the shows are just the same thing, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah,
been going on since
it's
at
so
least
crazy.
the '90s, right? Like
Yeah,
and it kind of reached a head like late '90s into the 2000s, where you have these shows that just made that just worthless, and I was like, what is happening? Like why are we? Why is this a thing? It just became this trend, right? Um, yeah, it's been going on for a very long time, and you know it's fed into this sort of zeitgeist of uh, negativity towards men in general. Then it's made its way into political or social discourse in relation to uh, you know racism, and so now it's like the white male is this oppressor and all this. So it's like it's a very strange and odd dynamic, and it's still going on. A lot of people thought it turned around after Trump was elected or whatever. I'm like, well, not really. Some,
well,
you know,
it's not.
some,
It's just
some
rebranding itself. That's
yeah,
all.
some institutions kind of pulled back a little bit, but it's still going on. Like they're not they're still doubling down, on the foolishness. So, you know, Hollywood hasn't learned, that's for sure. And
And
it's
this
funny
is
we
kind
talk
of
about Hollywood a lot, but it's in almost everywhere. It's not just Hollywood.
and this is why I brought up at the end of our last show. We were having a discussion of truth and storytelling. Is that this story you know uh, with his dad? This wouldn't have worked if it didn't tap into a truth that we all understand. Right? It's not something that we have to vocalize. We already understand that it's true because God wrote the truth in our hearts. So it's like we don't need to we don't this is stuff that we don't need to explain to you because you already know because you feel it. And this is one of those examples, you know. And this wouldn't have worked. This wouldn't have happened if why people love Pragmata. This is why people loved Bioshock because same thing, similar dynamic in Bioshock. This is why people
Yeah, that's
love
right.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is why people love All Might and Deku. This is why people like. I remember, I remember being in the movie theater when the first My Hero movie showed up. Did you have you ever seen the first My Hero movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Um, and it's the scene where Deku and All Might are fighting together. And there's a scene where they're like running in sync. The entire theater popped off because it
That's
was
right.
like, oh, it's like,
Mentor and mentee, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, but
it was
it goes
beautiful.
deeper than that, right?
Yeah,
Because
it was.
he
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
have his dad; it's just him and his mom, right? So All Might stepping in, not just being his mentor, but being his father figure. Right? It's all there. It's all
Yeah,
the
it's
subtext is all there. The nuance is there, and everybody knows it. Everybody senses it. Everybody feels
yeah.
it.
Nobody needed. You didn't need to say anything.
Right? You
You
don't have
just
to say it's
understood.
there, and that's what I'm saying. Because
Like,
it
brother,
parallels our nature, our natural understanding of existence, and that's what I'm talking about how people there are people who like to pretend they don't understand, right? And it's like you're lying. Like you're not honest with yourself, something, right? Because you understand the basic fundamental dynamic of family. You do, right? Like you understand that basic fundamental dynamic of father son, father daughter, etc., right? It's like you know
yeah,
so and that's why it really irks me when I see comments like that. It's like you're just not being honest.
absolutely.
Like you're purposely just trying to incite other people who are honest with themselves, right, by being dishonest. And it's like that's a problem. That's because it seems like it's just saturated so much of you know uh, media and culture, to have this very cynical, nihilistic, uh, postmodern perspective. That's a problem. So you got to push back against that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have to push back with understanding that this is not by accident. This is all on purpose. And
Sadly,
it's like,
yeah, it's
and
not
it's
by
not
accident.
like, and this isn't like, I wish I could say this is a conspiracy, whatever, but it's like, it's so, like I said, if you go back and watch 50 years of television, it's like, you can't ignore the pattern, right? Like one of my favorite sitcoms was the Barney Miller Show, and I don't know
Yeah.
if I showed you the clip. Here, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is a clip from the Barney Miller Show. Or for those of you who don't know, it's a police sitcom from the 70s. I do like this show, but
You can't hear it.
you can't hear it.
Nope.
How about now?
Nope.
Oh my goodness,
I don't know why, but yeah, I can't hear it.
it's always something. But
I can hear you.
well, I mean that's good. But here, I'll send you the clip and you can play it.
Okay.
But yeah, because it's a crazy clip. That's
I
weird.
think I remember.
You were able to hear the trailer music, right?
Mm,
What?
I didn't hear anything.
No, I'm talking about from the first video that I shared.
You, the first, you talking about All Might?
No, Dad.
Or you talking about the Kickstarter? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard that just fine. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So I
weird.
don't know what's going on. That is weird.
But yeah, here, I shared it with you on Discord.
Yeah, I got it. 1 second.
But yeah, but basically what happens is they start talking about this thing called the Trilateral Commission, which is a real thing, by the way.
Yeah, it is actually. Try that on commission.
I forgot when it was founded, but I believe it's between well, interestingly enough, it is a group in cooperation with U.S., Western Europe, and Japan specifically. So, and it's funny because it's like you understand that, and then you see where all the major problems are happening is in the U.S., Western Europe, and in Japan specifically. That's where all the big news stories are at. But I digress. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
They're the ones you should be arresting, not me.
Why don't you say that before?
What do we got here?
Cam, this is William Klein. He was wrecking an office.
But I just wanted to meet them face to face. I wanted them to admit what they were doing. Who is they?
He was in the office of the Trilateral Commission.
Trilateral Commission.
Yeah, the Trilateral Commission.
All right, what is the Trilateral Commission?
It's an organization founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller to bring together business and political leaders from the United States, Europe, Japan, so they could work together for better economic and political cooperation between their nations.
And with that's what they'd like us to believe. But you see, what they're really up to is a scheme to plant their own loyal members in positions of power in this country, to work to erase national boundaries and create an international community, and in time, bring about a one world government with David Rockefeller calling the shots.
I take it they're pressing charges?
Yeah, well, he broke a globe and some UNICEF artwork.
Pause it for a
They're
second.
in on it too.
Well, notice how the laugh track only comes up when he's not. They're not saying anything
When
funny.
he's spewing the conspiracy theory,
Yeah,
that's what laugh track is. Yeah, when he's actually telling you the truth, that's where that laugh. Right, and the whole point, I was going to point out that the whole point of this scene and scenes like this, it's been in other shows, is to do just that, is to poke fun at conspiracy theories and to poke fun at the idea that there's this global cabal that's trying to take over the world, right? And create a new world order. But yet, if you just go outside, right, and just watch the regular cable news, go read an actual article, you'll start to see the pattern and realize, yeah, there's a lot going on, and what he's saying isn't that far fetched, right? And I think most people, at least I like to think most people, but a lot of people, I'll put it that way, learned this lesson the hard way back in 2020 when they locked down everything, and all before supposed virus that was so deadly, but you had to stand 6 feet away from people, and you couldn't go to a restaurant anymore and sit outside. You couldn't go to the beach by yourself when there's no one else around. You, you couldn't even go to work. For many people, they couldn't go to work. They had to just stay home and not be able to work and feed their family and pay their bills. You understand? Right?
Yeah.
And then certain businesses were considered essential versus non-essential. Like a liquor store was essential,
Unless you were a politician.
but the
Boy,
gym,
none of that applied to
was non-essential, right? The gym where you can exercise and work out and stay healthy and actually fight the virus by strengthening your immune system, right? Going outside and getting sun, right? Those things were not essential, but going to the liquor store, that was essential. Going to the dispensary, that was essential. They were allowed to stay open. Right? Walmart was essential, right? Target, not so much.
Yeah.
Right? Amazon was essential, right? I can go on and on. So you learn that your government hates you. That's the lesson from 2020. Is your government hates you. It's filled with bureaucrats that hate you, um, and they're not to be trusted. And so, stuff like this, when you see it in movies and TV shows, it reminds me of a book I read. I think it was by someone named Madame Blavatsky or something like that. There, and she was these people that were part of this Luciferian cult and all this stuff. She had a phrase called the externalization of the hierarchy. Right? And what that means is at some point, what they would do once they have control of certain entities like media and government and schools, colleges, etc., they would start to reveal what was concealed before. Meaning the things that were secret, they'll start to reveal in their own way through media and through music and songs and books. And that's kind of what stuff like this is. Not to get too deep, but it's them sort of hat tipping you, saying, "Hey, wink, wink. This is what we're doing." Why they do that, I'm not really sure. There's a certain logic behind it, I guess, on their part. But that's what this stuff is. Is when you see conspiracies in movies, right? Generally speaking, and then you see it sort of happen in real life, or you find out about it in real life and go, "Wait a minute, that movie or that TV show wasn't lying. Like that's really what's happening." That's
Yeah.
what that is. That's why, like a lot of people look at Simpsons, which is interesting, because they predicted certain. At least they look at it as predictions, like Disney owning Fox, right? Owning 21st Century Fox, and they do now, right? And basically Disney owning everything. That was the joke, right? Because it was so big. Or Trump
Mhm.
running for president, which he did, right? There's a few other things, but it's kind of like, oh, that's interesting, um, is there something to that? Is it coincidence? Right? It's
No.
it's and even recently with this assassination attempt on the president, there was some type of X account that was created back in 2021, I think, with one single post that's had the shooter's name. That was it. I think was his name Alan Cole or something like that. That was it.
I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
Now, fast forward, everyone's paying attention. Going, wait a minute, this was posted way back, 3 or 4 years ago. Right? Like, why did this person post this name? And this is the guy that tried to kill the president. So then there's more. There's like an image, and they think it's a picture of the first attempted assassination, right? But it's some kind of weird, where's Waldo type of thing. It's kind of wild, right? And then other people think, oh, it's all staged. They just see stuff like that, and you go, maybe it is staged. Right? Maybe there's something more to this. I don't know. But it's it's like, yeah, it's not on, circling back to the statement, it's not an accident, and it's not, right. And if you were to say all this stuff out loud to average person, they might think you're crazy, but I think a lot of people have kind of awakened to the fact that, yeah, there is some kind of grand conspiracy out there, right?
Yeah.
That's happening in some way, shape, or form. And so, and I think part of the reason why this happens is because it throws you off, right? It's like it's kind of a misdirection, So you get so tied into and bogged down by all these conspiracies that you fail to see what's happening. And then lo and behold, the government controls our vehicles and they can shut them off at will. Right? That's going to be passed. That's passed. It's going to be enacted next year by the automakers. Every car produced from 2027 forward, and probably this year forward, will have a shutoff, and they'll have tracking systems, AI systems that can read your emotions, and they'll shut the engine off so you can't drive if they think you're drunk or erratic or emotional or whatever. This is happening. Like, this is real.
Where'd you hear that?
When I hear it, it's Thomas Massey is literally fighting against it right now to try and get it stripped from the bill. Like, this is the real thing. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, a lot of people don't even know about that because they're focused on, oh, someone tried to shoot the president and their name was posted 3 years ago. I mean, do you understand? And he might be a time traveler. Like, all that's being, among other things. Right? Like, do you follow what I'm saying? Like, but they're passing bills, like making real laws that's stripping us of our autonomy and our sovereignty and our liberty, right? Like, real things on the ground, rubber meets road, versus conspiracy stuff that we, for all intents and purposes, we have no control over, right? We have no control over the Trilateral Commission, but we can, to some degree, control our local politicians, right? And then by extension, our national politicians, right? So, but we don't, right? And that's kind of my point is, it's been going on for a long time, but I think the purpose is just to distract you. It's really not there to help you solve the riddle of life, right? And now the Rockefellers, what? So what? Like, think about it. What if you solved all the conspiracies, right? What if you're like, yes, there's UFOs. Yes, the Rockefellers are behind JFK's assassination, whatever, right? Yes, all these things are true, bona fide, substantiated evidence. We know it for a fact. What does it change? Because in 2020, they still caused you to lose your job because of a virus that has a 99.9% survival rate. They still tried to force you to wear masks everywhere. They manipulated people to wear 2 or 3 masks, believing that it's going to keep them from getting sick. Many people believed the nonsense and took the jab, right, and got the shot, and now they're suffering consequences, right, years later. Some have died, right? We all know about the died suddenly thing, right? That was trending for a long time, the last few years. I'm sure there's a lot of truth to that. So while we're trying to figure out if a UFO is real, they're trying to inject crap into our bodies to kill us, right? They're causing us to lose our jobs. You understand? And that's all I'm saying. Like, don't get bogged down with the conspiracy. Just look out your window. right? The fact that you still pay taxes for your property that you supposedly own. That's a conspiracy, man. Like, why are you paying for something you own? You really don't own it, do you? You're just renting, right? Nobody really wants to talk about that. Why does the government own your income? They can tax you up to 40%. What kind of sense does that make? Right? You're a wage slave. They talk about wage slaves, but they only talk about it in relation to corporations. Oh, you're a wage slave for corporations. Really, but we're not wage slaves to the government that literally takes our money and does nothing for us. Yeah, you see how ridiculous that is? Like we're getting mad at a company that at least is paying you for your labor. The government didn't do anything for your labor. They just take your money. They just literally just take it. Why? Because reasons. Because the roads, the bridges, it's nonsense, right? But they have this right that they've given themselves to take your wealth. So yeah, so the conspiracies are fun, right? But for the most part, they knowing whether they're true or not means nothing. What matters is the things that actually affect you, like government policies and bureaucracy, right?
Yeah.
Corrupt law enforcement, things like
Well,
that.
I think at the end of the day, it's like whatever the like when the media highlights something, it's because they're trying to hide something else. Yeah, you just really
Yeah, it would seem so, right? Yeah,
do your own research on things. That's really all it boils down to.
Yeah, sleight of hand. Look here, not there.
Yeah,
and it's foolishness, But that's what it is right now. That's what the times we're living in, because information is so available now that we're inundated, And so it's like you gotta parse through what's true and what isn't, you know. That's not always easy. It really isn't.
no,
So it's so much out there. It's like but I think that's the point. Versus maybe if we stick to some core truths and principles. That's why like the quasi debate we had last week is important to me, because saying things that are relative, right? And it's like, sure, some things can be relative, but reality is not. Reality is objective, right? Like people lost their jobs back in 2020. That's objectively true, for no reason other than the government told their business, the company they work for, to close. Right?
Yeah.
Restaurants shut down because they couldn't afford to make all the different modifications that the local government required. Right? They couldn't do it. Others that tried, it drove away customers, because now they were slower and the food wasn't as good, right? Because they're taking too long to make it. You got to jump through all these hoops, and then people just say, "Well, I'll just have it delivered." So deliveries took off, right? You understand? It's like that's real, man. That's tangible, you know. And that's what's you got to be careful of. Don't get distracted by all this craziness. Like with Pragmata and the so-called criticism, they're not real.
no.
Like you said, they're not real people. They're people pretending to be outraged. That's what they are. Anyone that makes a comment like that, I can't believe he's using his dead daughter. That's not a real person. That's a person that's pretending to be outraged. That's it. That's all that is. They're pretending like that's a real issue. It's like, no, it's not. It's not an issue.
I mean,
that's
listen,
something-
I've met a lot of people to where they have nothing going on with their lives, so all they really have is to complain about.
Yeah, all they have is X
video
and
game.
Facebook and whatever to post to troll people. That's what they live for, because there's nothing else. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's a lot of people. Some I think are just they're just delusional.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's just as bad. But but yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know. But yeah, don't get distracted.
No.
Yeah, I appreciate this guy sharing his story. I think that's really quite beautiful, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean it doesn't surprise me. I think it's awesome. Uh, I mean, it's just there's a lot of things. There's a lot of games and shows that offer that same thing for a lot of people. You know, myself
Yeah,
included. For me, that was watching Mash or
right.
uh, what was that anime? Violet Evergarden.
Oh, Violet Evergarden's very good.
Yeah, that one.
It's very good.
That one. I almost crashed out. I was in tears by like episode. I think it was episode
Yeah,
10.
it's a great story. Yeah, it really is.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it's it's like that doesn't surprise me that that happened to him. So I'm really happy about that. Speaking of anime, though, one thing I did notice that did come up was an interview with Toshiyuki Tomio. He's the creator of the Gundam series, the original Gundam series. And I didn't. I read some of the original Japanese interview because for some reason I hate. I hate like uh, I hate websites like this because they do a terrible job of presenting the original
yeah, because they're
conversation.
translating, so they only translate sort of the highlights of the interview,
Yeah, well, it's
and
not
then on
even.
top of
Yeah,
that, they only translate kind of what works for them based on their bias, right? Like
well,
that seems to
also
be
they don't even post the original. I don't think they posted the original interview, so
no.
it's just.
I think she did comment that there is more, but you have to buy the magazine. You have to purchase the whole magazine versus. So it's like all right, whatever. But the gist of it is that the in this particular segment, he talks about how Gundam is sort of misconstrued by many fans, or at least in the sense that they're looking at the bells and whistles, versus the substance, right? So they're like cool mech, cool battles, awesome animation, awesome, character
Well, yeah,
design.
it's essentially.
They're fanboying
What's this
over the
mean?
military aspects of it. Yeah, but it's like, bro, it's anti-war. Like,
Yeah,
you're
but
celebrating
most.
the military stuff, but it's anti-war. It's like you're not supposed to celebrate the military. The goal is for you to have a more grounded perspective, right? More, something that's a bit more somber, right?
Well, here's the thing, though. It's like, uh, well, let's assume that he does believe that his audience is too dense. That's not
Well,
true.
he didn't say that. He didn't say the audience
I
was
know
too
he did.
dense.
I know he didn't say it, but the article is making it seem like he did. I'm just saying,
Well,
let's.
he's definitely criticizing how some of the fans react to his stories, right? Like the fact that that many of the fans they're focused more on the flash and not the substance. To paraphrase, like to kind of sum up his sentiment, where it's like these stories are not about the flash. The flash is just there as this layer, but the substance is the character development and the story arcs, and and the subtext is that war sucks. War is bad,
Okay,
no matter
sure.
which side of the of the aisle you're on. Whether you're the attacker or you're a defender or you're like everyone sees themselves as the good guy, right? Like you're fighting for your nation and you're patriotic, and the other guys are terrible and they're the enemy, and they're all because your leaders told you that, right? So that's the point he's making is like you're just killing someone else because your leaders told you to. That's his criticism of war. It's like, yeah, he's right. But the problem is the way she presents the article is as if he's kind of this lefty, anti-war leftist, like in America, right? Like this anti-war, and it's like, well, he's really not necessarily an anti-war leftist. I don't even think he's a leftist. He's definitely someone who has his criticisms of government and power in general and how it's wielded in relation to the lives of citizens, right? He's looking at specifically at Japan, of course.
Yeah.
Keep in mind these are people that lived through World War II, and the bomb and things like that, right? Like, it's they remember these things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so there's a certain vantage point where they're like, yeah, I'm not glorifying war. War is not fun. It's terrible, right? You have these young people who are going off to fight and risk their lives. Why? To what end? So that a nation can, have a few more acres of real estate. You understand? Like it's
Mhm.
kind of wild, right? So I think that's what's missed with this segment is that he's definitely calling out some of the fans, but it's not solely just him being an anti-war person. He's like, because he criticizes other, he criticizes Pol Pot and all these other tyrannical authoritarian regimes throughout history, right? And his criticism. He sounds like he's probably more libertarian, where he's saying, government is force, and that makes it inherently bad, right? Therefore, it shouldn't have the power that it has, right? Taxation is theft, right? Like, you understand? So that I think that's what's missed, and that's kind of the tragedy of this kind of post is like it only gives you a little snapshot of his perspective. It's like his perspective is far more broad. She only goes, a mile wide, but only an inch deep. It's like, well, it's a lot deeper than that. So it is what it is, and she kind of gets called out in the comments a little bit on it because some people
Sure.
share
Yeah. But
excerpts, to
I,
point
I
out that
think.
he has a broader perspective.
Oh, I mean, sure, but I also think that like, I don't know, if you talk to any like, I have a lot of friends who are Gundam fans, and it's like, yeah, they understand the nuances of the story in,
Mhm.
well, especially classic Gundam, but
Yeah.
also they collect all the giant robots because they look cool. So it's
Well,
like
yeah,
if someone enjoys Gundam for the fights and the flashy, uh, you know, robots, and not so much for the political drama. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's one of
well,
those things where
obviously he cares.
I know, but it's like I don't know. It's like
No, but it's a legitimate gripe. But it also just speaks to when you're a creator, whether you're an author or you're animator, movie maker, that your work is always subject to the interpretation of your audience.
yeah.
It's just like I always forget his name, but the guy that created Rorschach. Um,
Oh, you're talking about Watchmen, right?
yeah, from the Watchmen. Yeah, but he was shocked at how popular Rorschach was and how well liked he was when he was supposed to be sort of poking fun at the idea of this sort of morally driven person, principled person, because his principles ultimately got him killed,
Yeah.
right?
You're talking about
And
Alan
so,
Moore. Yeah.
yeah, Alan Moore. So he was, he expressed irritation at that fans actually liked George when they weren't supposed to because he doesn't like him. So it's like, but he can't control that, right? He can't
Yeah.
control that his fan, and it's the same thing here. It's like I understand his frustration, but you can't control the fact that many of your fans love the mechas, and they like the more relatively superficial aspects of your property, and to be honest, that's okay. I mean, I know guys that love World War II, World War One memorabilia. They have model tanks and things like that. That's not
Sure.
unusual.
But it's like
Are
I'm
they
not going to
glorifying
assume that
war?
they.
No, they're not glorifying war, but they still like, hey, a tank is awesome. Like it looks cool.
Yeah, but that's
You
the
know,
thing though. I'm not
fighter
gonna
jet.
go. I'm not gonna go out of my way to assume that those people didn't understand the nuances of World War II or anything like that.
Yeah, and that's
It's like
what I'm
it's like
saying. Like,
just
yeah,
because your fans highlight a specific aspect of the series doesn't make them stupid or ignorant. You
listen,
know?
I know guys that loved sort of the whole Hitler-esque aesthetic. I'll put it that way, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
German high art, and because he did a lot of propaganda in it, so they love that artistic propaganda. but
Oh yeah,
they're
you're
not
talking about like
Nazis. You
yeah.
know, they just like the aesthetic, right? They like, you know, maybe some of the music of the time, you know, that kind of thing. Like
Well, I mean,
it's
let's
very
be honest.
superficial, right? That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. You got to draw a proper distinction. And so with him, it's like I get it, you know, but I think you're right. I wouldn't say who cares, but I think you're right. It's kind of like, of course, your fans are gonna also appreciate the mech designs and all that good stuff, you know, because they do look awesome. They are cool. They are fun. And part of storytelling and, you know, creating these stories, especially in manga and animation, is to have fun with it, right? Like, now, if you want to have a serious, you know, commentary on war, then write another War and Peace type novel, right? No pictures, just words, right? Like, you
yeah,
understand? Like, write a novel, you know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but if you're gonna do a manga and have incredible art and graphics, and then translate it to anime and do the same, it's kind of like you're gonna get what you get, you know. That's the part you kind of have to just come to grips with, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find the actual sculpture because you brought up the point about the art, whatever propaganda from Nazi Germany. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing
he's
about
an old coworker of mine, and he was totally, and he was into like the 1920s and 30s, and like the scooters and all that stuff. You know, like the whole German. You know, it's like,
yeah,
but it's like he's not a Nazi. You
no,
understand?
of course not.
He's not out there like slanging n words around or something. Or
There
I
we
mean,
go.
you
Arno.
understand?
Yeah.
That's
So a
all.
lot. Arno Burker. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because one of the things that have been going viral lately is the statue right here. Hold on a second. I gotta find a bigger picture of it. There we go.
Statue of what?
Well, this statue right here
What is that? Is that
has been
Statue of
going.
David? No.
I don't remember who it's specifically based off of, but it's a statue that was built commissioned in Nazi Germany. The
Oh,
sculptor,
okay.
his name is Arno Burker, and
Okay.
I mean the whole goal was to I mean the whole it was the whole obviously the whole goal of like uh, Nazi Germany was to make the antithesis of what they considered degenerate art, whatever, and so they
Okay. All right.
you know they made stuff that based off of the type of statues you would see in like ancient Greece and ancient Rome and stuff like that, because you
Right.
know
Yeah. Yeah. That
the
makes
Nazis
sense.
saw themselves as a continuation of that tradition. The statue itself is called Diaparty, but but yeah, I mean, when you look at this, a lot of the things that Arno made, they're beautiful. Like this was a cool this was a cool statue. It was cool enough that it became a meme on the internet. Like you ever people like to post the Chad version like memes and stuff like
Oh, okay.
that.
Right. Right.
Basically became an evolution of that
Oh, that's
because
funny. Okay.
because the statue it looks cool.
Yeah. It
It's
looks
a
like
good statue.
Giga Chad.
Yeah, it's basically
Got the jawline and the chin. Yeah. Gotcha.
yeah, and they're objectively it's objectively good art, but I'm not going to. But the people who
Right. Who
appreciate the
made,
statue
well,
art,
yeah, that's assuming the artists themselves were adhered to the same philosophy. You know, it's like, did they? I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they did.
are you talking about Burker?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Did he? Was he a Nazi? Was he, or was he a
No,
artist
actually,
saying, "I'm
he
trying to pay my rent," and here comes Hitler with a few $1,000?
no. I mean, to my understanding, and people could correct me if I'm wrong. It was one of those things where it's like, yeah, make the sculptures, or it's off to the camps. It's like either
Yeah,
you did or
that's what I'm
you know.
wondering. Yeah, and it's not to try
Because
to
I
vouch,
think he was.
but
I think
it's
Joseph
just something.
Stalin. tried to commission him, and he was like, "One dictatorship is sufficient for me." So that kind of tells me that,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Context is important, and that's a good point. And it's the same. I mean, the people that appreciate Gundam, I'm sure if they're appreciating the mechas and things like, they're also appreciating the story itself. And I'm sure there's a general understanding, like, yeah, he's definitely not promoting war, right? He's definitely anti-war, you know. But still, some cool battles, right? Like, that's the point of the story, is to get you to these highs and lows where you're like, man, that was an epic battle. That was, it's like you can't really help it if your writing is that good and you're telling such a compelling story. The fans are gonna go, man, that was an incredible battle, right? I mean,
well, also my thing is
anti-war, but he kicked his butt,
yeah.
So,
well, also my thing is that I feel like the whole, and someone brought it up in response to this post, it's like if your only message is as deep as war is bad, then it's like you're not really saying anything. It's
well,
like,
I suppose I don't know.
Hear me out. I say that because it's like, yeah, most people with common sense know that war is bad, but at the same time, it's like people understand that it's like nobody. It's the whole concept of the warrior in the garden versus the gardener in a war zone, where it's like
it becomes a warrior. Yeah.
Well, the saying is, a soldier is more useful in a garden than a gardener is in a battlefield, right? But it's the whole concept of like, yeah, nobody wants, like, real soldiers don't want to fight in a war, but they do so because of principles that they hold.
Well,
right?
It's
Because
duty,
of
right? It's a duty and obligation to their country and to their community. Right?
It's like this idea that people
soldier has to fight is to fight to actually protect something greater than himself, right? And the problem with sort of 20th century or 21st century wars is that rare is the war that is fought, and objectively to protect our country, right? I don't think we've yet to fight a war that objectively protects this. We can probably go as far back as Vietnam, right? Which is seen as kind of a boondoggle, right?
Sure, like, but I think that
I'm just saying that bolsters the sentiment of you don't want to have to fight a war that is unjust.
Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, it's like the battlefield isn't exclusive to overseas, right? Think about policemen that have to fight to fight in their community.
Well, that's a different conversation. I don't think policemen are same as soldiers. They're not. Not in a war. Policemen. That's kind of a common. That's another conversation. But policemen are not soldiers.
Well, I mean, I get that, but it's just the idea that
they're not like fighting a war.
Someone said you got some audio issues.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. What can I do? Am I too low or too high or what?
I can hear you just fine. There's a little bit of static, but I can understand what you're saying.
Oh, there's some static.
Just a little bit on my end.
It's this microphone. Yes. All right. Well, I'll try something different next time.
No worries. Thanks, but I guess what I'm getting at is that it's like when you talk to actual like veterans who served a long time, it's like they're individuals with principles and stuff like that, and they have there's something motivating them to fight and protect and things like that. It's not just violence for the sake of violence. I had a
Right, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
yeah.
But being anti-war is not necessarily being anti-soldier, right? Um, it's when people generally, especially from reading his comments, the criticism is of government, right? It's like that anime. Man, I was just watching a clip of it. I wish I could remember the title. It's kind of a long title. It's like Guardians of the something. I don't know. But there's a scene where this general is sitting in a council chamber with the politicians, right? And he's kind of going in on them. He's like, look, you guys love going to war and you love fighting these battles. Why don't you yourselves join the war yourself, right? Why don't you go out there and fight?
Was this an older anime?
Oh yeah, it's older. It's older.
Are you thinking of Legend of the Galactic
That's
Heroes?
Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Yeah, I think
And
we played a clip
it's such a
before.
powerful scene because he really goes in and he's just laying it out plain. Like, the criticism is not the soldiers against the soldiers, right? The criticism is against the leaders that send the soldiers to fight on their behalf, right? And it's ultimately ends up being just enriching these leaders, right? The war wasn't fought to protect the innocent; it was fought to protect your pocketbooks, right? And that's where the criticism comes. It's like, why are men and women dying on the lines, on the battlefield for strangers in their ivory tower, right? So,
Yeah.
and that I can understand. I can get behind that for sure. So yeah, that's important to understand. Like, and that's what I'm saying about the article and how it only pulls out certain, but he does criticize communism and things like that, authoritarian regimes. It's like, yeah, this guy's not a lefty, you know, delusional lefty or something. He's looking at it in a very based way where he's like, look, you know, these leaders send our young people to fight and die for terrible reasons. Not for just reasons. So yeah. Oh, it's the static. Okay, thanks. So yeah, but yeah, I want actually. It's the second time I've seen that clip in the last like few months. So I think I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah, it's a good. I haven't seen the whole thing, but it's a good show.
Because it looks like it's good. It sounds like it's probably very good. So
Yeah, I think there's a reboot, and then there's well, not a reboot. There's a remake, and then there's the 1988 version.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's good though? Segueing into anime, Doctor Stone. I just started watching that.
Oh, you've been watching Doctor Stone? I haven't
Yeah,
seen Doctor.
it's actually it's not what I thought it was, and it's actually very intriguing. Um, it's very good so far. A lot of fun. Um, Great character development,
Okay.
and yeah, the premise is very cool. So I don't want to. I don't know. It's been out for a while, so I guess I can spoil it. Can I spoil it? Or is
I
it
mean,
like
I don't
the
care.
first
It's been out since what 2017.
I think so. So,
Yeah.
but basically, it's something happens to mankind where they're all turned into stone. Every human is turned into stone,
Hmm.
and specifically humans and like sparrows for some reason. So I'm not sure why, but everything else
What?
like lions,
Sparrows.
yeah, yeah, sparrows and humans. I have no idea why. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet, but they're all turned to stone, and then like 3,000 years goes by where everyone's just they're petrified inside of this stone. And then one day, Doctor Stone awakens. I'm Doctor Stone. One of the characters, he's kind of referred to as Doctor Stone, even though he's not actually Doctor Stone. But anyway,
Well, it's a pun in Japanese because the
okay,
kanji for doctor Ishi is also the same kanji for stone, like
okay, but
alive.
it's not the doctor's name. It's actually anyway.
Yeah,
One
no,
of the
I
characters
know.
wakes up, and he's a smart kid. He's a very smart,
Hmm.
scientific genius, And his buddy, they wake up and they decide, okay, we're going to just rebuild mankind. So the first thing you do is the food, shelter, water, and then because nothing's there, everything's gone. It's been 3,000 years, so there's no vehicles, there's no cities, there's no
Yeah.
technology. It's all been kind of washed or deteriorated away. Right? So in any case, they decide to start figuring out what to do and how to advance society now and wake up everybody else. So it's pretty, and of course the conflict is they wake up one guy who's a formidable warrior. Like when they were in school, he was like the top athlete. He was a fighter, all this kind of stuff, right?
Mhm.
He's the best of the best. And so they wake him up because they need him to fight for them because they're being attacked by lions. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but
Wow,
or just
something
because
ridiculous happening in anime? That's
yeah, I
crazy.
know, yeah, it's like lions. Come on now. But in any case, he wakes up and he fights off the lions and he agrees to help them. And so now, because one of the other guys is like really strong and athletic too, but he's
Yeah.
not a fighter, right? He's not like a skilled fighter. He's just really strong.
Gotcha.
So now there's a threesome, and then they wake up the girl, which is one of the guys, girl that he's like in love with, or whatever. But in any case, the guy they wake up now decides, okay, you want to rebuild society? Are you gonna let the people that ruined it in the first place? Are you gonna wake them up too? And of course, the young man, I'll call him Dr. Stone, but it's not. It's Sengu or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Senku.
Senku Ishigami. Also, I think
Yeah,
you could
Senku
literally
Ishigami.
I think you could call him Dr. Stone because I just realized his last name is literally Stone. It's
Yeah, it is Stone.
Ishigami.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but in the story, they're referring to something else as the Doctor Stone. But anyway, um,
Oh, I know, but
yeah,
as remember that it
I know
says
it's a play on words, but I'm saying they're referring the Doctor Stone is not him. It's the substance they discovered. So that's what I mean.
oh really? Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
like a healing substance. So the kid, one of the characters, coins it. It's a Doctor Stone like that. That's what I'm saying. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
not really him per se. They don't call him Doctor per se. That's my point. But
Gotcha.
anyway, so he asked him, "Yeah, are you gonna?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am. I'm gonna bring back everybody." He's like, I'm not gonna pick and choose. I'm just gonna bring back civilization. Right? That's his whole goal. And he's
Uh,
just driven by science. Like he's a scientist. He wants to figure out how to do it and how to make a better world. Right? And he believes he can do it through science because now it's kind of this fresh start. You know. So that's how he's looking at it. He's not looking at like, oh, the same people are going to come and ruin things. He's like, well, it's going to be a different world because we're going to be led by science, and I'm going to be the one that sets them free. So they'll want to work with me, right, and move forward based on science, not violence or anything. But the guy that they wake up, he doesn't see it that way. He's like, you're going to wake up all the people, the adults, etc., that ruined everything, like that made the world terrible. So I don't want to bring them back. I want to bring back people that's going to be peaceful, right? But we find out what he really wants is he wants to be able to kind of rule over the people, and he wants it's sort of survival of the fittest type of dynamic where he'll be at the top of the food chain, of course, and everyone
right.
else has to follow him. So, and that's revealed afterwards when he confronts other people. But in any case, it's really really fun, very interesting, intriguing. It's a lot of science. I don't know.
I mean,
I
I hope
guess
so.
is whatever where he explains like how to do this, how to make fire, how to it's kind of fun. I can see
Oh,
how
really?
kids would love it. Although it's anime, so it's not too bad. It's probably some cuss words here and there. That's about it. But other than
Oh, I
that,
see.
it's fine. It's like if 12-year-olds are fine watching it. But yeah, it's a lot of that, a lot of
Well, I
science.
mean, 12-year-olds are reading Attack on Titan, so
Well, good point. Good point. This is far from so far. This is far from Attack on Titan. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. Like I said, very unexpected. I wasn't sure what this was about. You see Doctor Stone, you're like, oh, I guess it's a doctor named Stone. I was thinking, does he turn people into stone? That's what I was thinking. But quite the opposite actually. So, highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's so far. I think I'm on episode and your brother's gonna be mad, but I watched about. I think I'm at 6 or 7, maybe something like that. So
Oh, okay. That's
I
not
watched
bad.
ahead
I don't see
without
why
him,
he'd be
so,
mad.
because I watched without him. I don't think he's watched
Oh,
this yet.
okay.
Usually he'll recommend anime that he's already watched. He'll say, "I think you'll like this," and then we'll watch it. So he's rewatching it right with me.
Man.
Yeah. So
He's
this
already
time,
seen it.
no, that's what I'm saying. This time around, I don't think he's watched this yet. I don't
Oh,
think he's
really?
So we're both watching it together, like discovering, So that's why I'm like, he's probably gonna be mad at me because I would, jumped ahead without him. So yeah, I'll rewatch.
Oh, well.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't mind. But because usually, we watch it like One Piece, right? He watched most of it way ahead of me. So we were watching. Oh man, you're not ready for this, Dad. You're not ready. He's doing a lot, right? I'll be like, stop doing that, right?
but you're not ready.
Try not to spoil it though, but still like, oh man, it's gonna be great when you see this one. So it's kind of funny. This time he can't do that. So.
Well, to be fair, I've been doing it to him with because he's watching.
I know you're even
Star.
worse with Fist of North Star and JoJo. He just. Oh, have you seen Monster yet?
Oh, the one about the doctor? No,
Yeah.
I haven't really been watching.
You gotta watch that. It's so
any shows
good.
lately.
So
well, I definitely check it out.
Listen, it's a stretch though. It's a lot of episodes.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, when you say a lot of episodes,
I'm saying that in a world where One Piece is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Fist of the North Star season 1 was 100 episodes.
Okay. Yeah. So you're fine. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Monster's
more than
100
like
episodes,
70 something. Yeah, I don't even think it's 100.
Okay, yeah, it's 74.
Yeah, 74 episodes. So
it's not a big deal.
But it's definitely worth the watch, though. It's so good.
Like, I don't think people understand anime seasons used to be like 100 episodes long, like just on the regular, like when it was on TV.
I can't even in the States. I can't imagine that because it's like.
I feel like 12. I feel like the whole 12, 10 episode season is fairly new, and obviously it's a budget thing. But like back in the day, like City Hunter, there's like 4 seasons of City Hunter, like City Hunter 1, 2, 3, and 91, and each season is like 100 episodes, and it's crazy because like how do you get to make 100? It's like the plot of. It's like Lupin the Third. Like you kind of know how the episode's going to play out, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you make 400 episodes of this stuff? It's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah. But listen, I'm here for it. I love it. So, but I wanted to point something out too that I think I shared with you guys earlier, and it's something in relation to anime, right? And and really art in general, there's this criticism that's been going around about conservatives and how they're kind of absent when it comes to the creative space, right? They tend to ignore it or reject it or dismiss it, right? Especially when you're talking about affecting culture, right? Affecting the hearts and minds of people, especially young people, but you don't have a hand in creativity in the sense of entertainment and things like that, which does affect the hearts and minds of young people, right? So I thought the points he made was very interesting, and I want to play it.
Yeah, go ahead and share the.
Here's the thing that a lot of right-wingers still need to understand about anime is that it is not a genre, it's a medium, right? So within anime, you're going to have fantasy, you're going to have sci-fi, you're going to have horror, you're going to have more inappropriate things. But I think conservatives and right-wingers, they need to understand why everyone likes anime so much these days. Not all anime is good. There's some anime that sucks. But a lot of anime, especially the best ones, have tales of heroism, of courage, of virtue, of honor, of loyalty, and all these things that are so, so near and dear to every single one of us. Because these are virtues that as Christian, I believe that the law of God is written on our hearts. And then so these themes of loyalty, of honor, of virtue, of courage, all these things are things that really motivate and galvanize us. And so they're one of my favorite animes. This is really popular these days, called Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. And there's a character in it called Himmel the hero. He is such a great character. It's not like one of those things where it's like moral ambiguity. He is someone who wants to help people, and he's a funny guy while he does it. But his character literally has real world impact, where there are people who put out mall fires, who stop stabbings on subways because they're motivated by Himmel the hero. And when asked why they did what they did, they quote him, or quote characters in the anime saying, this is what Himmel the hero would do.
Based.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's why people at the gym want to be like Goku.
Yeah,
exactly. Although I think I mean he already brought it up. Anime is a medium, not a genre.
Right. I think that's an important distinction.
That's why I always
anime, but animation in general, just animation.
Yeah,
it's a medium. It's not a genre. But unfortunately, too many people see it as a genre. They think it's for kids, or they think of The Simpsons and it stops there, or Family Guy.
But that's why I always tell people
all of the total of animation.
Yeah, but that's why I always tell people there's literally an anime for everybody. Like like one of my favorite anime is about food. It's just about it's a guy who works at a newspaper. And it's not Food Wars. It's called Rishimbo. It's a guy who works at a newspaper who gets tasked with creating the ultimate menu. And that's the whole show, is they go to these different restaurants and they explore different Japanese cuisine. And it's very like slice of life. It's very low stakes. And like the villain it's not like an anime fight scene. So the villain's not like this crazy guy who wants to take over the world. It's like this old Japanese chef with too much of an ego or something. It's like, this is how you prepare a fish. And then they're like, no, this is how you prepare a fish. It's like, it's silly, but it's like it's a fun watch because it's just about cooking. But there's a whole anime, a manga apparently about I said fishing, I meant cooking. But there's a whole manga apparently about fishing. There's a manga about tennis. There's an anime about tennis. There's an anime about one of those popular animes of all time is about boxing. The other one is about basketball. It's like
it's really soccer and volleyball.
Yeah, soccer,
I watch Haiku, and man, that's such a great series. I mean, I learned
the volleyball one. Yeah,
Haiku. Yeah, it's the animation is great. It's really fun though. Great characters. You kind of get lost in it, like watching the matches and everything. It's really well produced. And of all the ones that I found myself watching, I'm watching anime about volleyball.
Volleyball, yeah, no, it's crazy.
But it's like, this is really interesting. Like like I said, you learn about volleyball. You learn about these different, spiking the ball, the setup, sets, and all this kind of stuff. I'm just like, this is pretty intriguing. Like, I'm totally like into this.
That's how I felt about.
And the soccer one was really good too. That was a little interesting. It was different because they integrated a lot of high tech stuff and simulation. I forgot what it's called. I haven't even finished it. I need to go back.
Oh, is it a newer one? Because when I think soccer anime, I think about Captain Tsubasa, or there's another one that was popular in the early 2000s. We got a video game series.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to ask you about it. But it's pretty cool, and it was like this high tech soccer camp, basically. They had all this like simulation stuff, but still, it was still about the fundamentals of soccer. Like the characters would review it and use their knowledge to figure out how to defeat the other team. That kind of stuff. So it was really fun.
Oh, there we go. Inazuma 11. That's what it was called. Came out in like 2008. Yeah, it was about soccer.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a basketball one also. Right?
Yeah, Slam Dunk. Slam Dunk. We talked about that one before.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, anime it covers everything. Like, unfortunately, it covers everything.
Well, but it's like you say. It's like,
but
so do books. So do movies. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. I wish it didn't have some of the stuff it has, but it is what it is. You got to take the good.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the stuff that,
and you target the good stuff. And
but that's the thing that it's like the anime that gets the anime that we know that we're aware of as Americans is only like a fraction of the anime that's actually out there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like Americans will talk about Dragon Ball and Bleach and Jujutsu Kaisen and whatever, but it's like there's nobody will really talk about, or you'll rarely hear just a normie Westerner talk about Oishimbo or Kimagura Orange Road or Monster.
Yeah, and that's a good point, and that's the thing that I think hopefully over time, right, more people realize that anime is not just one thing. It's not the thing that you see rise to the top, which is like the cutie girl, big eyes, all that kind of that's part of it. But there's a lot more really grounded based anime out there that's just good story. It doesn't have all those tropes in it. Yeah. It's just good story, and it's told in a very provocative and intriguing way, right? Like that's it. Like Monster doesn't have any of that in it. It doesn't have fan service and all this other nonsense, right? It's it's a compelling story. It's a murder mystery, suspense, right? It's just done very well. It's produced very well, but it has none of that in it. You know what I mean? Like it's not a typical anime. It's at least what people think is a typical anime. So, and there's many more like that, of course, but that's just the one that pops in my head because it's more recent. But it's like, yeah, you can find, like I just started one called Cyber City Uedo.
Right? Cyber City Uedo?
Yeah.
Oh, Oedo. I know.
And it's really cool.
That's that 80s one, right?
Yeah, and it has kind of a Cowboy Bebop vibe, but like if Cowboy Bebop was mixed with Blade Runner. It's like has that feel to it, and it's really a fun show. Very,
I've been meaning to actually check that out because
I've been watching it. It's on like Pluto.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be commercials, but it's not bad. And like each episode is like 40 minutes. Like it's kind of wild.
It was an OVA back in the 90s. That's
I know, yeah. So it's like watching a movie. Each episode you're watching a movie. But it's really good. It's fun. It has a little Appleseed feel to it. I mean, yeah, I never heard of it. I discovered, that's it. And listen, it was. It makes me wonder, like, when did Suicide Squad? I meant to look that up because this is 1990.
Yeah, because it's the same plot.
It is the same plot. It's not the same plot, but it's the same premise.
Yeah,
they're all ex-cons. They have their sentences are like ridiculous. Like they're like going to prison for like 300, 500 years. Like it's wild. And so they make a deal, and it's not even a deal. It's kind of like you're just going to do it anyway, right? Like what else are you going to do? Like you get out of the prison because they're in a maximum security prison in space, right? Like so it's like nowhere to go. And so they're like, fine, whatever, right? So at least they get out, right? And they're back on the surface. But they do have these things on their necks that, if they get out of line, their handler will hit the switch and blow them up. And this is the thing, okay? He's not bluffing. Like, because throughout a few of the episodes, like the guy in red, he kind of jokes about it, like, And they're like, yeah, or is he gonna blow my head off, huh? Yeah, And he's like, that's right, And you think, okay, he's not gonna blow us. And then there's one episode where the other guy, I don't know if you see him, the guy with the visor, right?
Yeah.
He's like a cybernetic guy, and he has to fight this advanced cyborg that they put out, right? It's supposed to be his new law enforcement, whatever. And so they kind of tricked him into fighting, so he had to follow through. And he's like, all right, you better win, or I'm gonna have to explode you, right? Like, And it's like, dang, that's cool, right? So he fights the machine, barely survives, and the other two jump in to help a little bit with like to give him equipment and all this stuff. And ultimately, he finally kills the guy and they cut to the handler, and he has this little timer there, and there's like 5 seconds left before it was gonna detonate. He's like, "Oh, man, turn this off!" Like he almost forgot. Like, "Oh, let me turn this off." He won. I was like, "Yo, this is wild."
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy, man. So it's really good, very good character development so far. I've only watched like I think 4 episodes.
I mean, I'm sold. This is one of those I've always seen in like OVA circles and stuff like that. Stuff like this, Crying Free Men, stuff like that. Like just old school, over the top OVAs.
Yeah, this is
and
really
they could get a lot with a lot more stuff because this wasn't for TV. This is direct to video.
No, yeah, this is a direct to video.
Yeah.
But it was really good. And I used to watch a lot of OVAs, so I kind of missed this one. I wish I had watched it sooner. But it's really good, and man. So I don't know, Suicide Squad. I'm kind of like, I wonder. I gotta look that up. Which one came first? Because it's like literally beat for beat.
I mean, if I were to guess, it's probably
it's a dystopian future, right? It's cyberpunk basically. So,
yeah,
like you can totally cross this over with like Appleseed.
Yeah, I would. This feels more like a.
It has that vibe to it. So
this feels more like Akira than.
Yeah, it's definitely Akira,
yeah.
but the first thing I thought, especially when I saw the guy in the front, I was like, oh, it makes me think of Spike Spiegel. So he has that swag. So yeah, really cool. I highly recommend this. I'm watching it now. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, man. But yeah, I wanted to point that out about anime. Like, if you haven't given it a shot, give it a shot. And start with the popular stuff. That's a safe way, like My Hero, something like that.
Well, I mean, I would.
No, serious. Like if you've never watched anime, start with the popular stuff like One Piece and My Hero. Why? Because at least you kind of know what to expect. You know it's good because it's very popular, right? And then you can start delving into more obscure, anime.
Well, I mean, I don't associate popular with quality. I would just say.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you've never watched ever, then that's the place you should start. Is with what's popular. It doesn't make sense to like find an obscure anime and watch it, and then you think that's what anime is. That's what I'm talking about. Like, go watch something that has risen to the top. Most people will probably recommend it anyway, right? So go watch that, so you can say, "Oh,
right,
okay, I like this," or "I don't like it."
But here's the thing, though: if I know someone who likes stuff like Columbo or Columbo, if I have a friend who likes stuff like Columbo or Murder She Wrote, or like murder mystery stuff, I'm not going to recommend them My Hero Academia. I'm probably going to recommend them.
But I'm not talking.
If I'm gonna,
let's talk about if you're someone who wants to jump in.
Well, I know, but if I want someone to jump into anime, I want them to jump into something.
I know
that they're already familiar with.
I'm saying if you're someone that no one's recommending anything, and you're curious, go watch what's popular. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, sure.
Don't go to a video store and just grab a random anime.
Well,
You might end up getting something you don't want to see. That's the point I'm making.
I mean,
Don't
fair
watch
enough.
something that's vetted, where it's like, okay, I've been seeing this around a lot. Let me check that out. Right? Who's this Luffy guy? Who's this Naruto guy? Right? Let me go check it out. That's all I'm saying. Like, give it a shot, so you kind of see, oh, okay, this is what it is. Right? This is a part of anime. But the problem is to educate people about how diverse it is. Like, it's not just one thing. You know,
Oh
like
yeah,
you
for
guys said,
sure.
it's not a genre; it's a medium.
Oh yeah.
So,
Although I think
just
thankfully there's a lot more resources nowadays where people could just or people could like look up stuff based off of their interests, like manga decks,
that's true.
and
Yeah.
I forgot what
I
the
mean,
other
another
site
thing.
called. It's basically
No,
IMDb for anime.
yeah, because I was going to say Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is too.
No, not Crunchyroll. It's not Crunchyroll that I'm thinking of. It's another one.
No. I was just thinking. I was like, maybe you can go to Crunch, but Crunchyroll is awful. It is. It doesn't really
No,
filter anime very well.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, based on like what you're already familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do that. So
No, there's Anime News Network. That's what I was thinking of.
yeah, Anime News Network is good. Yeah.
Manga decks, like it's basically IMDb for anime and manga. So I would just use stuff like that and just look up stuff you're into, like horror, mystery, whatever, and just start there.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying don't watch. Obviously, I'm not saying don't watch My Hero. I'm just saying like
No,
we
I understand what
have
you're
a lot
saying.
more resources.
If you're already into, uh, horror, then find a horror-based anime. If you're already into action adventure, right? Then find an action adventure. Or you're into fantasy, right? You like fantasy stuff.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And there's plenty of fantasy anime.
Oh yeah.
So if you're into like Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of stuff, you'll find it in that. Like there's a ton of stories like that. Like, that's probably one of the bigger
Which one?
genres, like fantasy.
Oh yeah.
And that like within anime, like there's a lot of fantasy stuff.
I mean, fantasy's pretty broad, so it makes sense.
But I'm just saying, adventurers, knights, dragons, wizards, mages, all that. There's a lot of that. Like right now, one of the most popular ones is Freerun, which is a fantasy anime.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot. So if you're into fantasy, there's a lot you can find within anime. Without even ever seeing anything else. To be honest, like there's so much. Like we were watching.
Well, I think a big part of that is
Zero's a really good fantasy one.
Which one?
ReZero.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, I think a big part of that is Japan's love for RPGs and stuff like that. I mean, you could blame Dragon Quest, basically, huh?
Yeah, I said maybe. I guess so. Yeah.
No, it definitely is because the thing is, like, once Dragon Quest 3 became a big hit, like everybody, you basically you could trace it all the way back to Dragon Quest for Japan's love of like Western. Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons type of fantasy.
Yeah, Dragon Quest was huge.
Yeah. Well, especially in Japan. Because a lot of the anime tropes you see and stuff like that, when it comes to like Western fantasy, like the big city hub and the warrior and the dark mage and the light mage and stuff like that, and that's all like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. So obviously there's other anime more inspired by Eastern fantasy and stuff like that. Dragon Ball is the obvious one. Inuyasha is another one I watched. Yeah, and I can't really think of anything else actually. Oh, I guess Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Japan definitely likes that sort of classic Western Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Yeah, Japan likes the West. That's one thing I appreciate about Japan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
They like the West.
Well, you know, it's funny. I was just talking to Jermaine about Japanese cowboys or like Japanese cowboy enthusiasts, where like there's just these guys, there's just these dudes who like they just become sharpshooters because American guns are cool. Like there was this guy online. I gotta look. I gotta remember his name. I think his name was like Tornado Yoshida or something. And he's just like he's just flipping his pistols and stuff like that. I was like, Japanese sharpshooter. But yeah, like he's an actual like.
I mean, that's cool.
Like
I mean,
cowboy.
Japan has hip hop clubs, break dancers. They have greasers that love like the 50s, greaser culture. The leather jackets, like the fawns, right? Like
oh yeah, the
that.
rockabilly stuff.
Rockabilly, yeah. Like they're
this guy, yeah.
Japan, man. They go hard in the paint, man. Like for real.
Yeah. Man, look at him. He's got the holster. Look at that.
Quick draw McGraw.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I ain't mad at them. That's cool.
I love how we love their samurai and they love our cowboy. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Very good point.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Hideo Kojima making Revolver Ocelot. Yeah, true. But yeah, it's nuts. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's awesome. So listen, if you haven't started watching anime, and you're looking for something new and fresh and fun, check it out. Give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. And listen, like the guy said in the clip, there's good anime and there's bad anime. So don't dismiss it all because you happen to watch one that was, subpar. Yeah, you're gonna have some that are like, this is terrible. But you're gonna have a lot more that are really good. So just have fun discovering what you like and just watch. So, yeah, man, that's all I have for today. What do you have anything else?
No, that's really about it.
All right, well, I think I'll call it a day and say thank you all for joining us. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for hanging out. Go to our site, supergalacticfantastic.com. Sign up for our email list and get a free digital comic. Complimentary, of course. 12 pages, full color. Yeah, and give us some feedback. And like I said, we got some things in the works. Got some more pages being worked on right now for the book. And I'm still working on my little AI comic book. So it's coming along. Listen, it's taking a lot longer than I expected. AI is not easy to manipulate. Especially if you're trying to get exactly what you want. Like you're trying to get a certain look and everything. It's really not easy. So a lot of people may have an improper perspective on it. But it's really not as easy as some may make it seem. So. But yeah, working on that. And we got some other things in the works as well. We're working on a coloring book. So we'll be deploying that soon. And yeah. So check us out and thank you for your support and tune in next week and have a super galactic Saturday.
We'll see you around.